The first second round matchup is set. The upstart Minnesota Timberwolves versus the defending champion Denver Nuggets. High-flying Anthony Edwards versus big shot Jamal Murray. Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert versus the Joker. A rematch of last year's round 1 matchup. This has all the makings of a cult classic. Previously on Edible Buckets, we have 7:30 p.m. Suns at Minnesota. How will Kevin Durant and company respond after that crazy Anthony Edwards performance? Will the Suns get back to their winning ways against Minnesota? Or is this a new trend for Minnesota? Is this playoff Anthony and there's nothing Phoenix can do with it? Is this another example of the passing of the torch in this current NBA? I'm quickly going to do some forbidden talk. Yes, it's only 1-0 in this series, and yes, it's only 2-0 in the Denver series, but if we see Minnesota and Denver in round 2, that could be legendary. If Anthony Edwards continues this magic, who knows, he may fall apart. The future is uncertain. But if he does, and if Denver stays hot, that rematch of last season would be awesome. Minnesota brought Denver to only 5 games, but game 5 was pretty close. Behind 28 points from Jokic, 35 from Murray, and the Wolves only lost by 3. Anthony Edwards had 29, Gobert had 16 and 15 boards, Anthony Towns had 26 and 11. Now, I definitely wouldn't be picking Minnesota in this series, but I do have faith that Ant could at least get 2 games. Okay, now to the present moment. I am recording this section of the video now that the series is official. First and foremost, holy shit, did I not ever expect the Timberwolves to sweep the Phoenix Suns. The Suns dominated them in the regular season the past 2 seasons. In their previous 7 meetings, the Suns won 6 of them, and in those 6 wins, they averaged an 11.16 margin of victory. But as soon as the series started, they switched uniforms. So I don't know what the hell happened other than Anthony Edwards is him. And the Suns yet again fall apart in the playoffs. They seem to still be a cursed franchise. So in those 2 regards, it's not a shocker. Phoenix has some serious soul searching to do. Will Booker and or KD ask out? Or will they run it back with a different cast around this big 3? They probably need a true point guard and more bigs to match up with the likes of Minnesota's huge front line. In terms of the Nuggets, Jamal Murray is entering this series on an absolute heater. His confidence must be through the roof right now. After that buzzer-beating game winner in Game 2, and after he closed out the Lakers in Game 5, he's proving to be the perfect complement to the Joker. Funny enough, there's a crazy stat that circulated after the Lakers avoided the sweep in Game 4. In those first 4 games, the Lakers held a lead for a whopping 139 minutes. To the Nuggets 42 minutes. The Nuggets are just super clutch. But this series easily could have went at least to 6 games, if not 7. So now let's focus on the second round matchup. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves met up 4 times in this regular season, going 2-2 against each other, which is the same as last year. So in the last 8 games, they are 4-4. In their first matchup this season, the Timberwolves won by 21 at home in early November. Jokic and Murray combined to shoot 2 of 10 from deep. Murray was pretty horrendous at 5 of 16 overall shooting. Not that I'm worried he won't show up in this series. I believe he's at his peak at the moment. Gobert shot 0 for 7 this game. Edwards had 24 and Cat with 21. But it was the Wolves' depth that gave them the edge. Conley had 17 with 3 for 4 from deep. Naz Reid had 15. And Kyle Anderson with 9 on 4 for 6 overall shooting. Their second matchup was also in Minnesota, with the Nuggets edging out the Wolves by 3. Anthony Edwards with 38 and 8. And Jaden McDaniels had 26 on 9 of 13 shooting. No Karl-Anthony Towns for Minnesota. The Joker dropped 35 and 16 with an efficient 14 of 22. And Michael Porter had 26. He's such an X factor for them. If he's on, the Nuggets are almost impossible to beat when healthy. Now this next matchup was much more recent as opposed to their first matchup in November. This was in March, and so was their third meeting in Denver. Just 10 days later, the Timberwolves got their revenge by 13. But Jamal Murray did not play. A massive caveat, to say the least. That being said, Cat for Minnesota once again did not play. Edwards at 25 and Gobert with 21 and 12. He only missed 1 shot out of 8. Joker had another huge performance with 32 and 10, but it wasn't enough. In their most recent meeting on April 10th in Denver, Joker dropped 41, 11, and 7, and 3 steals. Porter with 18 and Jamal with 20. Cat unfortunately did not play and they lost by 9. In 2023, they also went 2-2 against each other in the regular season. I'll make this season recap quick. In Game 1, Minnesota won by 13 without Karl-Anthony Towns. In Game 2, Denver won by 4, but Minnesota had neither of their two big boys. Fun fact, they still had D'Angelo Russell at this time. In Game 3, the Timberwolves dominated by 30 without Cat, but the Nuggets didn't have Joker nor Murray, so we can kinda cross out this game. And in their final meeting of 2023, Cat sadly was not available again, but they lost by 34. Porter led the way for Denver with 30. They did have Joker, but not Murray. So in summary, as you can see, these two teams have played each other very well over the last 2 seasons. Luckily, we are entering the series healthy for both squads, knock on wood. Although head coach Chris Flinch for Minnesota has to undergo surgery Wednesday after getting run into in the final minutes of Game 4 versus Phoenix. So I'm going to make a bigger video covering all 4 round 2 matchups. And for this series, I'll save my official prediction for that video. But what I will say is I can easily see this series going far. And when the entire postseason is said and done, I could see Minnesota being the one team giving Denver the biggest scare. Random quick question. Would you like all 4 series broken down in one big video? Or would you like an independent video for each of the 4 series just like I did for this video? Let me know below because I'm not sure what I'm going to do quite yet. And well, it has been Edible Buckets. As always, I hope you all stay hyped. Peace.